Round of applause for Calais. I did my part. I got it. I got mine because I wanted to protect myself and my family.
Yep.
Ultimately, I did it because I was terrified that I would catch COVID again and die. My happy, predictable daily life came to a screeching halt. I can no longer cook, clean, or even pick up and hold my baby for too long before my body begins to shake uncontrollably.
Yep.
Or is thrown into excruciating amounts of pain.
Yep.
My quiet life has suddenly become very public. And with that has come so much ugliness and bitterness from people who know just the surface of what's happened to me after this vaccine. I have been called a liar and a fake, and have even been told by the ER doctors that this is all in my head. I'm hoping to share my story in an effort to give others going through what I'm going through a voice and to show them that they don't have to be afraid.
That's right. That's right.
So for everyone suffering, for everyone being pushed, guilted, and frightened, I see you, I hear you, I believe you, I love you. I love all of you because that is the only thing that is going to get us through this. Thank you, guys.
Drug companies have spent $4.5 billion on lobbying and campaign contributions.
In today's world, Big Pharma decides whether you live or die, and that makes them dangerously powerful.
Mr. Chairman, it is a sad fact that we regulate industries such as machinery and automobiles far better than we do those that affect what may be placed in our bodies.
Pfizer received the biggest criminal fine in US history for mispromoting medicines and for paying kickbacks to compliant doctors.
They're getting paid by the pharmaceutical industry, by the very companies that they're supposed to oversee and to protect us from, that they're supposed to oversee, that they're protect us from.
Well, as far as doctors go, you've certainly seen the best.
The best don't exist anymore. The best are dead.
Well, I don't know about that.
You're the exception, Harry. I didn't mean you. Harry, am I gonna die?
I'm afraid so.
My name is Brianne Dressen. I am a 41-year-old preschool teacher.
Everybody, clap, clap, clap. Eyes on the teacher, hands in your lap.
And mother of 2 young kids.
I love you.
That's a good that's a good person right there.
I met Bree in college when we were both at a climbing gym at an outdoor club event. I saw her climbing with a friend and I thought she was really cute, and we got to talking and set up a time to climb outside together, and a little while later started dating.
He was really kind of a quirky guy when we met.
That's the world's greatest dad.
Even though he was very structured and regimented, he still would go jump out a plane with me and go skydiving or do all these weird trips.
Anytime we could be outside, that's what we've always done.
I married my best friend, I really did.
We have a saying in our relationship, and it's no matter what. I choose you, you choose me. As long as we were together, we would get through everything. No matter what.
This is going to be hard to watch.
It was very scary because they were preparing us for something very bad.
U.S. health authorities tonight say there's no doubt we'll see more of this. Americans sick with the coronavirus who need to be kept in isolation.
I had never been in that circumstance before, so part of the preparation was some of us were elected to go to Rochester to do mass casualty training.
Yeah, I would say it was pretty terrifying to need to be in close proximity with patients that might be giving us a disease that could potentially be fatal.
Before.
Clinics closed,
so
the
part of
operating
the
rooms
preparation
closed.
was
Hospitals
some
just
of us were
became
elected to go.
emergency rooms.
I've been through 9/11, Metro North disaster, flipped over tour buses. This is absolutely the worst.
As a physician, I certainly have a little bit more medical knowledge than some in the lay public, but everyone was instilled with fear. So was I.
These are
Tonight,
some really
the
good
death
people
toll
right here.
nationwide has
Joel,
now reached more
Denise,
than
Brianne.
16,000.
During COVID time, I
Really
became
inspirational.
a news junkie. I never turned my television off.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight, we're becoming crushed under a tidal wave of unfathomable numbers.
The United States now has the most cases of any country in the world.
Where's that audio coming from?
Yeah, so when COVID hit, we're like, you know what? We're going to rise above this. This is going to be a big deal. We're going to teach the kids that it's great.
What the heck? There we go.
So the kids were stuck at home and they hated learning from me, even though I was a teacher.
Nothing's happening.
What's happening?
Nothing's happening.
And you know, I think
What's
that
wrong with
is part of
brown
it because
sugar?
our
Who's
children
gonna
don't like to
How
learn
did
from
you
us
get
regardless.
on top of the car?
But we really wanted to make the best of it, right? I mean, it was 2 weeks to flatten the curve.
Infectious disease experts call it flattening the curve. Should this fail, people in this country, perhaps people you know, will unnecessarily die in a system that can't.
Stay home for 2 weeks, right? That's where it all started.
Brianne actually went out and collected N95 masks and took them to the hospitals so that the staff would have masks to protect themselves as they were treating COVID patients.
Yeah.
We wore masks everywhere we went. We used hand sanitizer. We stayed away from everybody. You know, if the CDC said do this, we did it.
Today I want to update you on the next stage of this momentous medical initiative. It's called Operation Warp Speed.
Dozens of pharmaceutical companies and biotech firms now working
I mean, I don't know about you
simultaneously
guys,
on a
but when y'all
cure.
start,
When a COVID-19
when it gets
vaccine
to
is
the point
made,
to where
it'll be big news.
Dozens of companies in multiple
they start
countries
talking about
racing to be the
symptoms,
first to create a
it sounds
COVID-19
like every
vaccine.
one of us
Pfizer
telling
could
our own
soon
story.
take a critical
It's
role
like
in the
everything just
COVID-19
clicks.
vaccine.
is performing the first
I
human
can't tell
trial
you how
for
many times I
coronavirus.
stood in front of my doctor with just my hands out screaming, just please help me. I feel like I'm being poisoned. It's all over my body. Please help.
In your hands will rest the final success or failure of our course. Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
So my friends are healthcare workers and they found out about the clinical trial and they said, hey, do you want to sign up with us? And I said, yeah. I qualified as high risk because of my preschool teacher job.
There is no laughing in preschool.
In normal times, it would take 10 to 15 years to get a vaccine to market. Now, some companies have reached a clinical trial phase in a matter of months.
I had been accepted into the trial, and then I didn't hear from them for like 5-6 weeks, and I didn't realize it, but at the time it was because the clinical trial had been put on hold because there were issues with AstraZeneca in the UK.
Another drug company hits the pause button on its clinical trial.
AstraZeneca is investigating what caused a patient to have a serious side effect.
There was a case of transverse myelitis and a case of MS.
The patient suffered from a rare spinal inflammatory disorder.
This disease interrupts the messages that the spinal cord nerves send throughout the body, and this can cause pain, muscle weakness, paralysis, sensory problems, or even a bladder and bowel dysfunction.
As soon as the trial resumed, I was in the first batch of people that got contacted to come in.
Dr. Robert Frank says today, for the first time, 7 children between the ages of 12 and 15.
Use this time for some target practice. The real thing's coming soon.
Well, I'd just like to thank you very much for without you, we never could do some very important research.
Knowing that a vaccine was coming, I was excited. I was like, okay, this is going to end it.
Went ahead and signed up for pro science, pro health, more educated people. We want to help.
All stations, this is Shadow 01. The Deployment to the war zone has been authorized.
My name is Maddie DeGarry. I'm 13 years old. I used to do a lot of sports. That's why I got sick.
So what are the possible risks? First, as I mentioned, is the reactogenicity from the vaccine. What we have seen
Your
is
team
that
leader,
if people are going
set
to
a
get
drop
symptoms,
point for your
they
squad
seem to
soldier.
have fatigue, headache, and fever.
No forcing contract here. You've got gas closing in fast. Double time it to the safe zone.
You think about like when you had a bad cold and how you kind of feel like that for a day. And a lot of people said, well, why do you get those side effects? And I think about that really as showing that our body is responding well to the vaccine.
Right now I'm feeling pretty good, but even just a few minutes ago, before I had a snack, I was like, holy cow, this does not feel right. But I don't know, I'm feeling a lot better now. My arm's just a little bit sore. Yeah, that's about it. My ears were ringing for a little bit. I had a little bit of a headache, but the snack fixed it.
I understand, guys, if y'all can't get through this, but it's
Later that night,
it just makes it hurts at the same time. It makes me feel better that it wasn't all in my head.
so sound
You know?
had become distorted. And I remember looking at my husband and just saying, something's not right.
Yeah.
I'm reloading.
It's until after the second shot that we really saw things get bad. And what's right now?
Ooh, I'm out of practice.
There was electric shock. Didn't touch her back.
Yep.
Her fingers were white, they were ice cold, swollen.
So I called the nurse line. Called the nurse line.
One piece. Contract complete.
She's in a trial, they're going to take care of her. That's expectation. You know, things can happen. They will figure this out. She will be okay.
In the morning, the sensitivity to sound and light is still there.
I'm hit! Aim for the head! Ha! Better luck next time, asshole!
I run her back up.
Your squad mate is being tracked as a most wanted target. Eliminate enemies and secure supply caches to get that target off their back.
Yeah, because you just
reacting to the vaccine. This is normal, and they sent her home.
Yeah, this is normal. Bunch of people that didn't have a fucking clue what they was talking about.
After several trips to the emergency room,
Regurgitating bullshit.
Syncope. She was passing out.
Breathe. Come on, Maddie. Maddie.
Breathe, breathe. Okay. Breathe, breathe. I'm sorry.
That's sad.
I think we may go back to the hospital today, okay?
My blood pressure is off the charts. My heart rate is off the charts. My skin felt like it was on fire.
Fire.
My body
Yep.
was on full-on
Yep.
attack mode.
Yep.
The neurologist came in and sat down on my bed and said, you know, COVID's a really hard time. It's a really stressful time on everybody. You see it here in the hospital, you know, it's really scary, and
You kept your squad mate alive. Most wanted contract complete.
you got this vaccine, and you just kind of had a mental breakdown.
Maybe you have anxiety.
Yep. I can show you the list of bullcrap they told me I had.
All of this on her.
Gas is moving.
Look at her charts prior to this.
Friendly
she never
loadout
had
drops on the
anxiety in
way.
her charts.
Nope.
Took the adverse reactions to the vaccine off the table. Not another visit.
Reloading!
So I was sent home after a diagnosis of anxiety
Your
due to
squad
the
mate
COVID
is the
vaccine.
most wanted target. Eliminate threats and secure supply caches to reduce the time of the contract.
Results of its trials shortly. Sources say it could even be the first to be rolled out. Today, the vaccine will become one of the largest mass vaccination sites in California.
Any way out of that situation was positive.
I dropped everything and ran as quickly as I could and got in line.
I thought I was really doing something, you
know that I have to.
I think we all did, you know. I think that, and I honestly think that that's the point.
Got some bucks here.
60 years old. He's not in the greatest health. Everybody has somebody that relies.
I would have been devastated.
You've got a loadout drop inbound.
Without trying to
Some bucks here.
Reloading. Wonderful vaccine. We all move on with our lives over time.
6,000 people can be vaccinated here behind me on a daily basis. They don't even have to get out of their car to get their shot.
After the first shot, as soon as I pulled out onto the street, my entire face just started tingling.
My face started burning, and my vision became a little blurred.
Requesting recon at my location.
Coming back up into my
Incoming!
Never felt anything like that my whole life.
I started feeling tremors.
Swapping mag!
The best way to describe it was like a cell phone inside my body, buzzing.
Buzzing, yeah.
I knew I was blacking out, and there was no way to stop it.
Burning in my rib cage.
Priority tasking request received. UAV exiting AO.
like somebody had a ratchet strap around my waist, getting tighter.
Our office wondering why I'm shaking so much.
2 hours after the vaccine in my left arm, the tremor started.
36 hours later, I had nausea, vomiting, and then started having trouble breathing.
The chest pain started, then my heart rate shot up. It was really, really high.
I was like on the floor, like nearly having a heart attack.
Yep.
My feet went numb, my hands went
Had 2
numb.
heart attacks.
I could not feel my hands.
Enemies are dropping into the area.
Believe it or not.
Feel my body.
Tried to stand up. My legs were, and then I pushed myself off the floor. No response from my legs.
I'm reloading!
And I couldn't move at all.
I can't feel my legs. I can't feel anything.
I realized at that point.
Here's a bounty contract.
Messed up, man. Yep. I mean, whether people want to admit it or not, I think it did a lot of these things to everybody. Now, some people won the lottery and ended up getting everything, experiencing all of these issues, and then some just had onesie-twosies, you know.
Walking by, the swishing in my
Be
pants
advised,
was too
an
loud.
enemy squad is tracking your location.
To her,
Bounty targets identified. Weapons free.
becoming overwhelmed and telling you
All bounty targets are KIA. Well done.
This week marks 4 months of sickness, so I'm doing a lot better, but still a long ways from being
recon
independent,
flyover!
Don't. You got it, Bree. You're strong. You're strong.
And then it turned into this incredibly sensitive sound issue.
Closing in. Relocating
Ears
safe
were
zone.
so bad all the time that even just
Visa
me talking
timeline
right now is
expired.
making my
UAV
ears ring.
exiting the
Yep.
AO.
It's
She was removed from my life, the kid's life, from her own life. Just completely isolated, hollowed out.
just overnight too. Overnight, literally overnight.
And we weren't getting any answers.
While having to listen to "It's All in Our Head," while having to hear people tell us it's all in our head.
Target eliminated!
There really wasn't going to be anyone here to take care of
Switching
them.
mag!
Right?
Enemy UAV overhead.
LDBR ready for launch.
There he is. Hey, buddy. I know. What you doing? Here. This is Nick. Yeah, he's a retired standardbred racehorse. They were racehorses.
Your squad mate is being tracked as the most wanted target.
Right?
Eliminate enemies and secure supply caches to get that target off their back.
That's the thing. They've been part of my life for so many years. I just can't imagine ever not having them, you know. My husband and I had this barn built in 2006.
Recon contract marked.
Changing back! The left squad mates outside the safe zone.
This was my life dream, you know, and it's home to me. It's where I feel most comfortable. It's my sanity, I always say, and to think that this may be gone someday is pretty difficult for sure, you know. But if this is what I have to do, it's what I have to do, you know.
We're providing a consistent message to our team, and we need to make sure that that's also in alignment with what our customers are asking us to do. And so
late February, early March, as they started getting more readily available to the public, that's when we really started seeing odd things in the emergency room and in the hospital.
Yeah, but y'all deny it and tell people that it's crazy, or they did, you know.
All I really remember is being laid down in the back of my vehicle and put on a stretcher.
Hell, I was having spine surgery a month after. I was laying on the table with my spine hanging out after being healthy for 37 years.
Most wanted contract complete.
37 years of health, and all of a sudden, boom.
In my small community hospital.
Get ahead of the next
What is
gas spread.
the catalyst for change?
Like 20, 30-year-old people, perfectly healthy, no comorbidities.
Eyes on enemy.
Very active coming in, and they've got a blood clot in each leg, one in each side of the lung, covered in DVTs or PEs and blood clots. That doesn't happen there. There's no cause of it. And there's no reason for this to happen. When we go to their vaccine history, sure enough, you can see, oh, they took the shot a week ago. They took the shot 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
Every single one was like that.
So our hospital system is a vaccination center. We sign a kind of a contract with the CDC. One of the things
Capture
that we
complete.
agree to is that
Hell of a
we
job.
report
Uploading
any
information on the next
side
gas
effects
spread.
to the vaccine adverse event.
Recon contract marked.
This was enacted to assure, once you released it into the full population of people, that there was an early warning if there was problems with the vaccine. I didn't know anything about what theirs was, what it was for, what the responsibilities were.
Pack up. Get a UAV in the air.
So I started learning how to report these patients on my own.
Too close.
Because it's a long process to report a patient. There's so much information.
I had to do my own reporting. I had to report all this stuff myself because I didn't have a doctor to do it for me because none of them, they all looked at me like I was psycho. Even tried to put me on psychopathic medication, like multiple different ones because they wasn't working. It wasn't working because that's not what was going on. That was a symptom to the bigger effect. But again, nobody wants to talk about that stuff.
Switching backs.
This is a tote bag of all of my questions.
Pack on. Launching
All of
UAV.
these ones here are the ones that I have
Moving.
officially reported.
Gas is closing in.
This
Get to the
stack
new
of
safe
patients
zone.
are patients that
Your squad mates started securing the intel. Join them to increase the speed of the
maybe
capture.
close to 200 patients in this state. So when my hospital told me I could no longer report on patients that weren't my own, I had to stop reporting.
What our risk team is telling us is that really on the patients.
Well done, soldier. Check your map for the next gas spread location.
Are you going to tell the providers that this is
Your
their
squad mate has
responsibility?
entered the
Are you gonna
gulag.
send out some
They'll need to
email,
survive to
Nope.
redeploy.
Nope.
But I said to them, we're at CDC. You're not doing that.
We want people to get the vaccine, right? We want people to understand.
I'm in administration, so I thought as a
Enemy UAV is
I
online.
would be taken seriously. Not with this. Not with this. And it makes me very sad that
Your
all
squad
of
mates
these
failed their
individuals-
mission. They're headed back to base.
Changing back.
Get your squad to the safe zone. Leave no
Appreciate
one
it.
behind.
I was AFK.
COVID positive patients, they're just
Moving
gonna stay
here.
in limbo forever.
I mean, for lack of a better way of saying it, we sort of, you know, we company line. That's
Targets in the area.
Is to be supporting the mission of the organization, and when we think that we're.
I was to support the vaccine effort. Period. End of story. That is our mission.
Hostile
Never
UAV
once
in
when
the
I was
area.
doing all of this stuff did I ever think you'd be unemployed 6 months later. It's crazy.
And it's sad enough. That's why I try to stay behind. When I help, but I try to stay behind the scenes because I can't lose my job. I got kids.
Enemy down! Switching back!
Does not mean that a vaccine or specific batches or lots of the vaccine cause the side effect. If you've had a reaction following vaccination, contact your healthcare professional and report it to VAERS.
And then what? What happens then? When you report it to VAERS, what happens?
Investigator, you know, hey, did you report this to VAERS? Because people kept asking.
Enemy UAV is online.
We report it to Pfizer, who
16 rounds, out.
directly. We don't go through VAERS. I'm like, okay.
When I asked for documentation, they would just ignore me. When asked about, did you report this information about the adverse side effects? And they simply say,
Enemy visual!
Target grid empty. Negative BDA.
One of the first ones says related to the vaccine trial. So, and it happens within 24 hours.
Reloading!
To steer away from that. They kept saying these are pre-existing conditions. This is something else. This is not from the vaccine. The vaccine doesn't.
Sniper! Get to cover!
It's funny, pre-existing conditions, yet you've never been diagnosed with anything your whole life of any time you've ever went to the doctor. But now all of a sudden you take a shot and now you got existing issues. You already had issues. I swear these people need to be jailed. They need to be put in front of a jury of their peers. They need to be prosecuted, and they need to be jailed for treason.
UAV overhead.
Looking through any
That's
sort of
exactly what
scientific
needs to
article
happen.
to try and figure out what do these symptoms mean. One in particular.
There's 4 of them
was
on that
written
building.
By some doctors at the NIH. They published an article that said, you know, we need to look out for
Got gas inbound. Safe zone relocated.
So we need to watch for that. So I reached out to them and I said, I saw your article and you're right. And to my surprise, they responded right away. And within 3 days of my email, we were on a telephone with several endocrinologists. And it became helpful because it seemed like they were already aware.
Yeah, that's because they was.
When the scientists chose to create the COVID-19 vaccine, they used
Back in what, 2012 or something, wasn't it?
that mRNA hijacks our own
Tackle! Get a UAV in the air.
to create a protein. And that protein they chose was spike protein.
Don't anyone get confused by this? Messenger RNA is not a bad thing. If we didn't have it, we wouldn't exist. It's the...
Are you kidding me? If we wouldn't have it, it wouldn't exist.
...are made of, this
Gas
DNA,
is inbound.
and the proteins that...
Go on,
define
this one's on ice!
...unit. The problem with this is the bastardization of the concept and the tomfoolery with nature itself, genetics. Manufacturers, they used the spike protein from SARS-2 as the template. The
Swapping
mRNA
back!
template encodes to make a spike protein. And then you have spike protein, in some cases trafficked or brought to the membrane of the cell itself. You put in cells on the surface of the cell, waving around saying, hey, I have something bad in me, come and kill me, at least come check me out.
When spike protein is lingering, either after having had COVID or after having had a vaccine or a series of shots, that spike protein can induce autoimmune phenomena as well as many other mechanisms.
Spike protein is a glycoprotein. It's the most common protein in our bodies.
We know spike protein looks eerily like the body and brain, such that our immune system now is getting mixed up.
So if you have proteins in your body close enough in resemblance to the spike protein, you can have the antibodies attack that.
So when spike protein is lingering, the immune system is creating antibodies now against myelin.
Yeah, just lie. Oh, you're just fucking hiding on top of the building.
Around the nerves.
It shows a protein that causes
level 1.
our own bodies to attack our own molecular.
Oh, what do you know? It's already been reported for cheating. Glad to see some things never change.
Central nervous system. Perhaps
Earn redeployment or die trying.
My own immune system responding to that mRNA vaccine and thinking my spinal cord was either COVID-19 or COVID-19 virus infected cells.
I got one!
There's no other way for the Mark.
Let's get at her! Gulag locked down. Area's clear.
Down's one!
Fucking camping the gods. They're camping the loadout like a bunch of bitches. Team full of cheaters up there.
Only 10 left.
And they've already been reported for cheating. Imagine that.
Complex disease.
The neurological system,
Requesting buyback. Make it. I'm taking effective fire.
respiratory system, every system we have is being affected.
Buy station. Switching max.
Basically immunological haywire.
Four, before you get killed, can you go get me back over there? Hey, Four, can you drop off that building and get us back, please?
Or part of the immune system out of control systemically. So you get symptoms occurring out.
Took a rat.
Fucking
When
cheaters.
I asked my neurologist, do you think
I'm getting
my
so
transverse
sick of these
myelitis is
cheaters,
related
man.
to COVID shot? Quote, Joel, I don't want to get involved. End quote.
When I brought up the fact, well, what do you think about the vaccine? Because that's the only variable.
I said, no, it's not the
Yeah.
COVID vaccination.
Yeah, I can already tell
The
you what they said.
vaccination is safe.
I literally laughed and said, girl, this is all in your head.
I was brought in, given a room immediately, and told that I had had a heart attack and that I may have to have surgery. Hour and a half later, a nurse came into the room and said that there had been a horrible mistake and that I had had an anxiety attack. I was muffled. I was told I was wrong. I was told to go home, and I was told not to talk.
Yep.
To my family doctor that afternoon, he immediately prescribed me with vertigo and a severe panic attack.
So they said, you know what, this is all in your head. So we're going to get you all these antidepressants and get you out of this pain that you're making.
How many
And not only did
how
that
many
exacerbate
platforms
my
do you
pain,
think I'm going to be banned on for live air in this?
There's an episode of
We'll
The
see.
Golden Girls that addresses this. Dorothy all of a sudden finds herself
Rock up,
extremely
you're headed to
fatigued.
the war
She
zone.
knows that there's something wrong with her. She knows that there's something different.
I have heart palpitations. I can't concentrate. I forget things.
Yep.
Dorothy, I don't
Coming.
So Dorothy goes to visit a number of
Reloading! Took a round!
Now, she was told that she had a mental disorder.
Don't take this the wrong way, but have you ever thought about seeing a psychiatrist?
I have seen it. I think of that episode a lot because I see it all the time.
Literally been told by doctors, if this were real, we would have.
Enemy dropping into the AO.
Can happen.
Prep time's over. Now you deploy to the war zone.
There's people that have gotten diagnoses in their chart of anxiety disorder,
Me.
functional
Yep.
neurology.
Yep. Me. Yep. That was me. It took a lawyer getting involved to get that pulled out of my chart. And to be honest with you, I'm not even sure it's still out. It's out of my chart. Just where I can't see it.
Presenting vaccine-injured patients.
Mark a drop point for your squad and hit the field.
Neurological
Recon contract marked.
which I will tell you at this day and age.
Gas is closing on your position. Suggest
Yep,
you hightail
that's
it
what-
out
yep.
of there.
Diagnosis is labeled in the chart. It's very difficult to get that erased. It's the first thing that
That's crazy that we. It's like they had a freaking blueprint playbook on how to keep people quiet, scare them half to death, watching other people get hit with diagnosis that would change their life in every way forever.
Targets are up. Rotate them down. Check your map. Mark the point containing enemy intel nearby. Capture it for information on the next gas spree.
I'm right on ammo! Taking effective grenade!
It sure does.
I made a decision very early on that I wasn't going to turn into a bitter person because of this.
It's hard though, buddy.
I'm reloading! I'll just make it worse for everybody. This is already a pretty terrible situation as is.
This is not okay. You only had 2,000 kids in this trial. 2,000 of them got the vaccine.
It should be illegal to have kids in that trial to begin with. These people making these decisions aren't the people that need to be making these decisions.
Kept pushing. It's just functional.
Because it's obvious that, where their priorities lie, and it's not in health. It's money, power, fame, clout.
Today, Pfizer
You name it.
announced its vaccine is safe and effective and generates a robust immune response.
That's a
against
false
the virus.
advertisement,
In kids ages 12
and should again they should be tried. Bless his heart. Ernest. Oh my gosh.
Squad mates in the gulag. If they survive, they redeploy. Intel point captured. Great work.
Recon contract
You've earned
marked.
a peek at the next gas spread.
I want to see my son sick.
Friendly loadout drops on the way.
I took him to get the vaccine. My neighbor asked me to take
Enemy intel located. Capture and secure the intel point to discover the next gas spread.
Gave him some money. I gave him a hug and a kiss. Told him to be good. They called me if he needed me. That was the last time I spoke to him.
Your squad mate won the fight. They're redeploying now.
Called me later on. Screaming that something was wrong with you, Junior. So I raced to the phone.
All squad mates are in the safe zone. Gas is closing in.
When I got to the hospital,
Hostile UAV in the area.
I did like nothing. They just said,
Your squad mate is ready to
field upgrade.
Joining them will speed up the process.
Ooh.
Now, what parents are really
He's
care
got
about
he's
is
got
what's
more
going to happen.
he's got more self-control than I got.
For males under the age of 18, there is an increased incidence, it appears, with the vaccines of a rare side effect of an inflammation, mild inflammation of the heart called myocarditis. And it's very mild. They go to the hospital.
Yeah, very mild.
Information on the next gas
Given a little bit of ibuprofen, a pain reliever, and they go home and they seem to be doing just fine.
Yeah,
Follow-up is-
right.
UAV overhead.
A lot of the people with myocarditis, if they do tissue staining of people that have inflammation of heart, myocarditis just means inflammation. What they'll see is it's full and staining, full of spike.
After receiving the vaccine, after myocarditis,
Swapping mags!
what they find
Movement!
pathologically is that the heart inflammation
Hostile UAV
does
in
not
the area.
resemble the standard heart
Hostiles in the AO!
from normal myocarditis. This is inflammatory.
Enemy in the area!
Mark the point on your map containing
Similar to
enemy
what you've
intel.
seen.
Capture and secure it to get ahead of the next gas spread.
Mythology is, you know, the state gathering. Patterns. What's out of position in this pattern? What's out of proportion in this pattern? I have the autopsy tissues of a young man right here on my desk.
Your squad mate's site securing the intel. Join them to increase the speed of the capture.
This is my stomach on.
Oh, lovely. Thank you.
Searching armor.
On medication for the rest. I mean, I'm not as worse off as a lot, but I'm on medication for the rest of my life because of it too. Multiple medications. Bless her heart.
Intel point captured. Great work. You've earned a peek at the next gas spread.
Switching max. Got a buy station here.
Nope. You don't. You want to ignore it.
They acted like it didn't matter.
Yep.
You think that if something happens, they're going to do everything they can to make sure that they figure it out?
They're going to do everything they can to hide it and set the narrative. Because that's what they did. Still doing.
I didn't want to live like this anymore.
Nope.
How do I make this stop? This
Yep.
needs to stop.
Yep. Yep.
And I remember asking my husband, I was like, I need this to stop.
Yep.
Just help me make it stop. And my son, my beautiful boy, would be saved. My husband, just let me die. I just need to die.
Okay. So, same here.
What if I'm in a wheelchair forever? Like a normal person like myself was thinking of ways to kill herself.
Yep.
That's not normal. And I'm not saying this for you to feel sorry for me. I'm saying this for people to understand the depth of which this is beyond crazy. And nobody has answers. Lifeline, Dr. Tepper.
You've got a loadout drop inbound.
And when you do go
Loadout drop headed your way.
anxiety is crazy.
Switching max. I'm a Hyundai P.
You safe zone.
He was terrified, and I had to try to tell him I was going to be okay, knowing that I had no idea if I was going to.
Enemy UAV is online.
Like, is this
Shit.
Bless
How
you.
much longer can I feel this?
Appreciate it, brother.
Am I gonna die tomorrow? So you're trying to like make memories with
Some action back here. Okay, yeah, I see them.
I'm set up where the circle's going to end if y'all want to get this way.
Yeah, I got you.
if I even make it to 5 years.
Yep.
I felt that if this illness didn't go away quickly, I was thinking about ending my life.
Yep.
The symptoms were unbearable, and I've never been suicidal in my life.
Ever.
In my mind,
It's crazy how we all have the same, it's like the exact same story, the exact same thought process through the whole thing, but yet it's an anomaly and it's all in our heads.
tries up here every day. Wouldn't have to worry about
She wrote a letter to our son.
Back on, I need eyes
trying to
overhead.
explain the love that she had for him, how she was proud of him. But when I read it, it was obvious that she was trying to leave him a message for when she wasn't here. I mean, to have your wife, the mother of your children, who was perfectly fine before, now get to this place where they're like,
The squad's in the safe zone.
"Goodbye, have a good life.
You've got gas moving
Be
in.
the best you can be to their child."
Yep.
Brought me to my knees in tears.
Dude, it's,
That's the only
they
reason
need to
she
be
didn't
fucking
write one
prosecuted
to
for
her
treason.
Because she saw that.
I'll never forgive myself.
Ah, boy, that was smooth. Got the fuck out of there. Ah!
A little boy should never have to worry about it.
I'm coming to you now.
this is real. I have located several people that pretty much have some issues. Reloading! And the only thing that they've done different
We'll
was
get you back.
receive the vaccination.
We're supposed to work with my neurologist here with the NIH, and the NIH was recommending steroids, IVIG, plasmapheresis, those types of remedies. And my home team here.
Get a UAV on grid.
When we went to the NIH, it was, we're going to figure out what this is, we're going to find out what helps, and tell everyone about it.
Visual on enemy. I broke their armor.
They told us that they were going to publish the data they were gathering on us. It felt amazing to be selected to go. They selected medical professionals for some reason.
NIH diagnosed her with non-length dependent neuropathy.
Severe postural orthostatic tachycardia. Vaccine neuropathy, tinnitus, and short-term memory loss.
And the IVIG has really helped to knock that down.
Here is my packet of IVIGs. There's a bunch of immune cells in here.
It's not a silver bullet, it's not the cure, but it definitely is giving me So in March 2021,
Marking enemy!
has with Dr. Constance. And she is a fierce force for good. And she was
She's
injured
awesome.
by her COVID vaccine.
She's really
And
awesome.
She had found 3 or 4 people at that point that were like us.
Hey, good to see you.
After my comment that I wrote in Neurology today, I started getting emails
Changing mags!
from all over the world. Several women in the United States contacted me. Bree, I believe, was the second person to contact me.
I'm expanding my diet a little bit, and I doubled my low-dose naltrexone dose, which was
That green, you dropped that band from me.
Enemy down!
Buy yellow back.
Yeah. Let me get some money.
Okay, he's finna try. Yeah, he's finna fight. He's good. See if you can get out the gulag.
She said, hey, let's exchange emails.
Got a truck coming up. Oh, that's you. All right.
Together, and we were all relieved to be
Squad
there
mate
together.
redeploying to the AO.
Our lives never would have collided in any way if we hadn't become ill. We lived in different states and all different walks of life.
So it was really amazing to be able to finally connect with even just a few people that knew exactly what I was experiencing.
I finally
I need
connected with Bree, who's one of the ones that I connected with.
Gas is moving in. Use safe zone location.
She was terrified.
Check your
She was
map.
scared.
A marked
Her
a point
daughter was
containing
in the
enemy intel
hospital,
nearby.
and my way of
Capture
helping
it
her
for
was to
information
listen
on the
to
next
her.
gas spread.
I stayed on the phone with her countless nights while we both cried at what was happening to Maddie. We commiserated, we laughed. We have a lot of really dumb
Your
inside
squad mate
jokes
has reached
now.
the intel. Joining them will speed up the process.
There's a core group of us. It's not a day that we don't talk. It's not a day that we don't type to each other.
As time went on, the group
What you so infatuated with there? Hey, yellow. Somebody behind you, right there.
and Kristen House set us up in a Facebook group.
See?
People started telling me, hey, there's a group out there. There's other people like you.
Copy.
And I didn't.
She said, okay, we have a group with a whole bunch of vaccine.
Moving here.
And the Facebook group got
Well
really
done,
big
Tom.
really quick.
Check your map for the next gas spread location.
We needed another
Look
Facebook
alive!
group.
Area's hot!
And another. And then there were thousands of us at first.
And I started reading
Switch,
through
crash
everything.
that!
It was a bit overwhelming. How many there were, and how many
Your squad made it to the safe zone.
after the vaccine.
You're losing ground. Moving.
Pretty much the only help that people are getting.
Denise Hertz is on an email stream with
Enemy dropping into the AO.
the heads of the FDA, the CDC, and they're all telling her, hold off, don't say anything, just give us a couple of weeks and we'll figure this out.
If you look at VAERS database, there are more than 1,000 neurological side effects already reported.
That was in March of 2021. They flew COVID vaccine injuries into the NIH to be researched because of our injuries.
I'm reloading.
Don't ask me, dude. I don't know.
So we told everybody, hey, just hang on, help is coming, the NIH is going to publish, and then that would open up the door for everybody to look here.
We've been in battle against the pandemic, and there's been damage.
Hostiles in the AO.
Seems reasonable to say.
Behind you, Purple.
Let's help these people.
So the NFL player gets on the
Enemy
phone with
mark!
a senator, and hey, check out these videos.
I'm Ron Johnson. I'm the U.S. Senator from Wisconsin. Originally, when I heard that Ken called me, I just called him up. He's a Green Bay Packer Hall of Famer. I know who Ken Rutgers is, so this is kind of cool.
My name is Cheryl Rutgers. I live in Oregon. I'm a wife, I'm a mother, and a grandmother.
Behind us, behind us. Somebody's rolling to the back. I got him.
I just wanted to know, is there something I could do to help?
I want
Ammo box here.
neurological injuries to be recognized and acknowledged by the CDC and the FDA.
This is a group of people, they have a very simple request. They just want to be seen. They want their stories heard. They would like to be believed.
I told Dr. Nath at NIH that I was going to do that press conference, and he commended me for my advocacy. And he told me there were two things that the world needed to know, and one is that this was treatable, and that early intervention was key. I just wanted to say thank you all for being here to hear these stories. As you can see,
Heads up.
we are
Enemy
like
squad
family.
marks you with the bounty
We have
target.
suffered together for so long, in a way that no one understands but us.
Unfortunately, all I could do was create a platform and hopefully trigger some compassion.
We are asking to be seen, we are asking to be heard, and we're asking to be believed. Thank you.
Reloading!
Hide so I can like.
Moving here.
Hiding.
Enemy KIA!
After the press conference, we went back to the hotel, and because of my own problems, I had to go lay down.
Gas is inbound. Marking
Yeah, man, you can't do
Maddie
anything.
actually climbed up into the bed with me, and we just laid there and like we were old friends. No. Yes. No. Yes. That experience was worth it, just to give Maddie a sense of belonging, because that was the first time that she had interacted.
Give me a second, babe. You can't just keep him in there with you, babe. I mean, I don't get why we got to mess with him. Just let him run around.
Enemy UAV overhead. Changing mags!
We talked about boys and all the normal things that teenagers should talk about. So she finally felt like she wasn't alone. She makes me want to keep fighting. And to fight harder.
Fox hosts aren't the only prominent people giving anti-vax conspiracies a platform. They're getting help from one United States senator in particular, and that is Ron Johnson.
I think the American public should be able to have informed consent when deciding whether or not to take an experimental vaccine one way or the other.
Stay in your own lane. That's the message to Senator Ron Johnson. After Johnson hosted a press event Monday with people who say they experienced negative side effects from the COVID-19 vaccine.
We thought that the public would finally hear our stories, and the questions would begin to be asked. The agencies would be held accountable.
And here we are 5 years later, and we still don't have the truth about any of it.
I was hoping that those news reporters would hear the stories.
Nobody's talking about the outbreak that happened at Fort Detrick in August of 2019, and then mysteriously it went away, and then all of a sudden it shows up in China, and now we have a pandemic. I mean, there's all kinds of things that we still don't know, and we'll never find out. And the crazy thing is, this will all happen again. We'll get us another vaccine over something stupid, and people will take it because they don't remember what happened here.
Not sharing is caring, unlike what many of our moms taught us.
So within 24 hours of that first
The enemy lost track of you. Good work down there.
Facebook shut down the first of our vaccine injured.
Swapping mag! Enemy activity!
Crackdown on misinformation about COVID vaccines.
Misinformation litter on Facebook and Twitter. It was very obvious that an all-out assault had begun on us on mainstream media.
Vaccine misinformation and lies about vaccines.
Disinformation is one of the biggest challenges in getting people vaccinated.
Social media as well.
Well, the company is taking down anti-vaccine videos and banning major accounts.
The next 5 days, they got shut that one down.
The company
No more changing mag!
So we're made great
Friendly loadout on the way.
dude, I got this.
Media, mainstream media
Enemy
is
in the
not
area!
disclosing these injuries.
While Facebook says it's working hard to fight misinformation, removing 18 million COVID-19 falsehoods so far.
And to be told that your life story is false information.
Dude, is he using aimbot, automatic script that shoots at us as soon as we cross the screen or something? Because I wasn't even moved out there yet, and he downed me somehow.
Why you're not seeing vaccine injuries in the news? Well, it's a multi-layered issue.
It's important to take faster action against harmful posts. As you all know, information travels quite quickly on social media platforms.
They get threatened by health officials, university institutions, medical
Watch them steps. Hey, Ford, just watch those steps, buddy.
Certainly understand what risks are.
You're in the top 3.
Got him, broke him.
This is all that they have.
Reloading!
That's the problem. Like any kind of prior health history, they will put that on the death certificate every single time. I get on the phone with as many people as I can, but I mean, it's like, what, it's almost 10:30.
I'm reloading. Gas is moving in. New safe zone located.
There's not enough time to
Treating well and have a good time and you relax because I know you have done so much. Tell your husband I said happy Father's Day.
I will. Thank you for that. Okay. Bye. How undignified.
Moving! Requesting recon above.
She's hoping that she gets a phone call from a preschool teacher. They have nobody, right? The government is back on them. And there's nobody that has any answers, nobody that wants to bother to help her find the answers that she needs.
Be advised. Moving here. Outside the safe zone.
Thanks. If everyone wants to just introduce themselves, it might be helpful, and then we can introduce Suzanne from the FDA.
Switching mags!
After we got these meetings set up with the FDA, thankfully, through my home senator here, Senator Lee.
So I'm Peter Marks, Director of Center for Biologics.
Peter Marks, head of biologics, is the guy that is supposed to evaluate the safety and the efficacy of these vaccines. As you can tell, we've got thousands of people that are having issues with the neurological side effects to the COVID vaccines. We're currently involved with research at the NIH, but the research at the NIH is...
Got gas inbound. Safe zone relocation.
The FDA, as well as with the researchers that we were working with at the NIH, that I knew that they were talking to each other, and after that, NIH went radio silent. I wanted to make sure that they got a perspective from medical professionals. One of these physicians is a critical care physician. She's trying to hang on to her.
Soldier squad is outside the safe zone.
Thank you, Bree, for inviting me. And Dr. Marks, it's really wonderful to meet you. As you know, the physician community holds FDA guidance in incredibly high esteem. After the FDA communications about myocarditis came out, both the ER and cardiology teams were tuned to look for it. Our patient care dramatically improved, all due to the FDA.
Myocarditis to the medical community, and the medical community was given the green light to actually identify myocarditis for it and and also report myocarditis.
So the FDA is not naming
Good
additional
work.
adverse
That's how it's
reactions
done.
to the vaccine because the passive surveillance system is not displaying it.
Good game, man. That's the first win I've gotten in like 3 days.
Oh shit, for real?
Yeah, dude, it's been rough, man. It's been rough, dude.
Hey man, we played as a team, man. It was good shit.
Yeah.
Let's run it back.
Let's do it.
It's not like we can just cluster neurologics in general. So is the majority of folks
There's 88 cytokines on bears when you curate to indicate a neuropathy. So I'm hoping we can look at all of them.
Yes, please feel free to
Yeah.
send that to us. Yep,
I
that would be
I had to I
Ask a
created
preschool
a
teacher and a critical care
interactive site
physician for
that
88
renders
terms
all of that
neuropathy.
data,
We'll head over.
so you can actually search for it,
You know, in the meantime, I
and
hope
know
that
what the hell's
things get
going
better
on
for you both.
within your
We'll continue to look into things.
your batch and your lot number.
Thanks.
Now, concerns are growing in Israel after some fully vaccinated adults got infected with the coronavirus. The country had one of the fastest vaccination programs in the world, but now cases there are rising again, fueled by the Delta variant.
Breakthrough case numbers are on the rise due to the Delta variant.
469 cases in Massachusetts, 74% were fully vaccinated.
How come it don't open the after action report anymore?
Evading the vaccines.
The first question is,
You hear
why
me?
isn't the United States
Hey,
looking
man,
in our
what's
own
up?
backyard for our data?
Fix your stream.
But they were. They just weren't telling us what it said.
You said mute it?
To surge across many Fix it. parts of America,
What's wrong
a
with it?
major reversal from its It's drop your windowed at the bottom left, and there's some Pfizer shit playing in the main
Oh
window.
yeah, no man, I'm doing a I'm doing a reaction on this is a video that my charity
I've been working with
did,
healthcare claims data for over
but
25
I'm just
years.
watching it, doing a watching it for the first time since we put it out.
And the data that I
Yeah,
do
it's
have access to,
well,
which
I mean,
I'm really
you
grateful
can't watch
for,
the game.
is the Center for Medicare and
it's-
Medicaid database.
You're so small in the corner.
This database
Yeah,
is so
it's
huge
almost
that it
it's almost
covers
off.
nearly
Let's see.
40% of the United
It's,
States population.
are you getting
And I
on?
start
I just sent you an invite.
Oh, did you? Okay, cool. Well, then I'll pause this and finish this later. I don't even see you online, man.
I'm there. I'm in the firing range right now.
Maybe it's just showing me. Okay, there you are. I don't know what the hell.
I've been tinkering around with loadouts trying to get camos done. I need 2 more sliding kills with the grow. And then I'm on to the next one.
Yeah. If you're tuning in for that, just we're gonna finish it in just a little bit. I'll put a message back out whenever I start it back up, but it's not over. We got about 40 minutes of it left. It's probably a good
You
idea
ready?
we take a break. You can only take so much of that at one time because it just hits, it resonates, it just hits home so hard. All right, guys, I'm gonna stop the stream and just start one back up when